Hi everybody, this is Roxy and I am working on my flower swap for Your Paper Pantry. This month of August it is vintage, so I've already made my flowers and now I'm just making kind of a fun little back presentation for it. And Samantha, Miss Pinkaboo, oh I'm hitting it, Pinkaboo 6691 Sam, she sent me this email about this e-zine that this woman has, and it's all about making flowers. And so I was looking at it, and one of the things that really caught both of our eyes is this pillow. Well, she's actually highlighting the flowers. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully. But anyways, we really like this flower, and I wanted to make the pillow and do the flowers. Well, I don't need any more pillows in this house because I got lots. So I thought, I've made the flowers. Mine came out a little different than these, of course. I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm kind of fire challenged. And I, you know, my burning of the lollipops get a little kind of more sacrificial, if you want to say. But anyway, so the backing thing I'm making is kind of like a little, almost like a pot holder. I saw another idea for pot holders, kind of using the cotton batting, and what I did is I bought some muslin, just real thin cotton muslin, and it's this color, and then I gave it a little tea bath, so it came out this color. So see the difference? It's a little bit tea bath. And one tip on tea bath, I use like a really huge, one of my enamelware pans, just big. You know, like if you have a roaster pan, I fill it with really, really hot tap water, and then a couple pots of hot boiling water. And then I throw in about 5 just cheapy tea bags, just, you know, your store brand tea bag, because obviously you're not going to drink it. And then I had about 2 yards of muslin, and you don't want to kind of flatten it. You kind of want to have it folded and twisted up and whatnot, because then what you get is variation. I mean, you kind of do when you're dyeing anyway with some material, but muslin is the kind of cotton where it would really take the dye real well. But by kind of leaving it twisted and folded, you get a really nice kind of aged. Okay, so I'm stamping away here, and I got the tube on in the background, and there's a show about predators, and they are talking about, you know, there's all kinds of predators. Whatever, you know, a predator is a predator, they say, and I've read this and researched this before for articles I've done. A predator basically has the same kind of MO, you know, modus operandi, whereby they search for, that's all they think about is finding prey, finding whatever their victim, whatever they want to do with them or want them for, that's what their focus is. And they pretty much find their prey, and then they just kind of circle around that person or whatever. Anyways, this show explained to me something that made me realize that I almost got scammed by a predator or a con artist last year, almost. But I watched my little red flags, my flags popped up, and I paid attention to them. Here's how it worked. This person first was lavishing racks on all these people that are pretty visible. I mean, they're, you know, we see them a lot. They're on, you know, and this woman lavished a gift or a rack on one of my really good friends. And so then at the same time, she was doing a benefit thing. And it's not Jade. It's not about that at all. Jade is fabulous. She's, you know, it's not about that. It's something else, another benefit that was going on. So she emailed me and said, oh, you know, do you want to do a page or a project for this? And I thought, well, yeah, sure, that'd be, you know, good. It's a good cause. And then she said, oh, good, well, when you mail it in, mail all, you know, a bunch of fibers and binding things and whatnot, because I'll need those to bind the product. And I thought, well, that's kind of different. I mean, if I was doing this, I would just say, you know, I'll pay for that or do all that. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I noticed that my good friend got a rack from this person, so I thought, well, she's legitimate, and, you know, if my friend likes her then and knows her, then it must be fine. So I was going to do it, and then my friend said, I asked her, I said, well, so, you know, who is that? And she goes, because I had just kind of started seeing her. She just kind of came out of the blue. And she goes, oh, I don't know her. She just sent me this. And, you know, she goes, I really don't know her at all. And I thought, oh, well, that's odd, you know, because it appeared that they were really good friends by the actions that were happening. So, I decided not to do this benefit, even though my heart went out to this family. I decided not to do it because I had a weird feeling about it. So, come to find out, another friend was scammed by this person. And, you know, I'm not saying this person knows that she's scamming people. I don't know that. I'm going to guess she does, because according to this show I just watched, it's all there. It all makes sense. My friend actually took care of the situation. You know, I kind of talked to her, and she asked me things, and I, you know, suggested this or that, and together she and I figured out a way for her to get her money back, and she did. But the problem is I've noticed this is happening again. That this person is surfacing again, and I don't know if I explained this enough or simply enough, but people need to be very careful with what they see. You cannot believe anything on YouTube and on the internet and on, you know, I mean, you don't have to believe me. you know what I mean? You can, because I'm honest, and but it's, you know, you really got to be careful. We had a couple instances at Your Paper Pantry, and hopefully I got it nipped in the bud, as Barney Fife would say, because I do not want that going on. I just think it's the lowest form of humanity that does that. And, you know, you just got to be careful. And I know there's a lot of people that they don't even have a bone in their body that would think, that would not trust somebody, or that would second guess someone if they said, oh, I've got an illness, I'm really sick, or I'm this and that. You know, it's hard to, like, I will say this, some crap was going on, pardon my French, and when that woman said she died and put a video up, my first reaction was, what is this? Because my first reaction was, why on earth, I told my scrubs, I said, is that the first thing you would do when I landed in the hospital, was to get on YouTube and put a video up that I am really sick? And he goes, well, of course not, you know. Then the next morning, her husband put a video up that she had died. And I thought, you know, I just thought, well, I slowly fell for it, I will say. I mean, I fell for it. I will say I did. But I did check things out, because I kind of still, it just didn't sit well. So I contacted her sister, or who she said was her sister, who ended up being her. And, you know, it was just another con. Now, this woman who died, but didn't die, I don't think she is really out to take people's money or things. I think she's got a whole nother thing going on. I don't know what that is, and I don't really want to find out. But these other cons that I'm talking about, they are out for our money. They are out for our product or goods or our talent or whatever. Mostly our money. So, you know I'm kind of babbling. I'm already going to start stamping my little girl here, and I don't want her there. So that's all I'm going to say. Just be careful. Do not think that just because... everything isn't always what it appears to be. You know? Somebody might get a huge, wonderful rack, and they might not even understand what's going on. But if it smells fishy, it is fishy. So, there you have it. Oh, and that memorial, nothing ever came of it. Yet. We're still waiting to see what's going to go on with that. So, I'm just saying. Now I will stop. Oh yeah, so this show I was watching, though, was really interesting. Because it explained all that. It explained how... Oh, and see, I said I was going to stop, didn't I? But it did. It explained how these scammers, or whatever you want to call them, how they work. And they're good at what they do. Unfortunately, they're not good at all at anything else. They're not good people. They are, and it's... you do not put any pity on them, because... they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like this other one. I don't know if she knows what she's doing. The one that killed herself. She didn't kill herself. I don't know if she knows what she's doing or if she even realizes what she's doing. But these other ones, they know what they're doing. And they know I know now. So I think I'm going to do Dreamer. How's that for a segue? Okay. So I hope you guys try this. This is actually really fun. And stamping, and the stays on stamps really well on material. And I doubt if anybody's going to wash these. Well, they can, because I've washed everything. That's a tip too. Oh, and you know what? Be sure to get natural fibers when you're dyeing, when you're tea dyeing it. Because, back in my day, I don't know if it does anymore, but polyester doesn't dye. It doesn't take color. So, what should I do? Dreamer. Oh, I know. A chandelier. There. Needs something, doesn't it? Ooh. Delightful. So I don't know if I showed these. These are Fiskars. These are really nice stamps. They're all like, upbeat, laughter, smile, giggle, delightful. So, I like to stamp. You know what I think is the hardest is to random. If you're trying to stamp something random, that has got to be the hardest thing in the world. It's like, it's impossible to be random. Unless you are on a computer. And then you can do random.